Oh,
Hi, this is Dawn. I am showing you how to do roasted tomatoes. I've had several friends ask me how for a recipe. I don't really have one, but it's just something of a process. So we start off first by using, this year I got Roma tomatoes and from the farmer's market along with some regular tomatoes. I just take and cut the tops off of the Romas. Do not skin. And it's just a rough cut. Just toss them in, and like the regular tomatoes, I do core, just so that little piece is gone. And anything that has spots in it or anything, you can always just cut out. Again, just quarter them and put them in the pan. I've already done quite a few pans already today. So there's some other caramelization of the olive oil along with the sugars. The next process would be just taking some fresh herbs. I have fresh basil, fresh flat leaf parsley, and oregano. And we're just going to rough cut those as well. Great time of season just to kind of clean out your garden as we're coming into the end of the fall. All of our wonderful bounty that's coming from our gardens. And again, just rough cut because the rest will all be chewed up in your food processor in a little bit here. Use some fresh parsley, basil, and oregano. If you'd like to do other herbs, that's fine too. These are the ones I choose. Some people can use thyme. Again, rough cut with your onion. I've got onion already cut up in here, just big chunks, doesn't have to be anything. I probably do one onion per batch of the size that I use for my pan. It just kind of depends on how big your pans are. Again, just toss them in. And garlic, we use a whole head of garlic, and I'm just going to cut the top off. So that's going to end up being just a nice roasted garlic head that will squish out. But we're just going to take and bury this right into the middle. Then next, I use olive oil. Just you can have your choice of olive oil that you use for roasting. Balsamic. I just drizzle a little bit of this on. This I use in place of sugar. It takes some of the acidity out of the tomatoes. And you can put a little bit more on if you want it a little heavier. I end up using it when I'm finishing my sauces to finalize the flavoring in it. I also have sweet basil. I'm putting just a itty bit more on just because my fresh herbs are getting to the end. And a little bit of oregano. I don't overuse the oregano, but I just do put a little bit extra on. Most of the time if I'm making pizza sauce, then I use more oregano. But if I'm making spaghetti sauce, I use more basil. And a couple bay leaves, just dried bay leaves. And cracked pepper. Again, don't over worry about like how much you're putting in some of this stuff as long as it's just not an overabundance. And then also I've got Himalayan sea salt and probably maybe a tablespoon for a pan of this big, but you don't have to put as much in because again you're going to be addressing your flavor changes when you're actually making your finished dinner or your finished sauce. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil in it and stir it because I want all of the herbs and everything kind of like having oil on them so they don't dry out in the oven. Again, just one big thing of garlic. We're going to go ahead and put that in the oven. I'm using a convection oven today that is set at like 415, 420 you can do. Cooks in probably about 45 minutes. Right now I have one that's been completed. You can see as I'm pulling it out the caramelization of all the wonderful vegetables and the garlic. So it's all cooked down. I do have bay leaves in there, which we're going to pull out before we go into the process of it. And you can see this wonderful head of garlic. that is roasted. It's all soft. I don't squirt the entire head. I usually just cook a head in there and I kind of save them. And as I'm processing and putting this into the new pot, I usually squirt a little bit more in. This is already cooked tomatoes, which I'll be putting in the food processor. I just take and squeeze a couple heads or a couple cloves of the garlic in. Depends on how much garlic you like. If you like lots, you can squeeze a lot more. Again, it's something you can still add when you're making the rest of your sauces as you go. And the leftovers make great for bruschettas, to put on the bruschetta, so don't throw that away because that's good stuff. And then also, if you want to have like maybe a little treat while you're cooking it, bruschettas with the roasted tomatoes, the oils and the juices are wonderful. Next, we are going to, my hands here. We're just going to scoop this in to the food processor. I don't overfill my processor because then it leaks out, but I've already put quite a bit in there. So, and again, put some more the garlic. I'm going to pulsate it to the right desired of my thickness that I like of the sauce. I like to leave mine a little more chunky, just because it gives me a little bit heartier sauce. Then I just pour it into another container, and this is getting ready for then bagging. I use just gallon size bags, freezer bags, or you can use the seal a meal, which I have also. And I just scoop this right into that, and then I freeze it. One little extra key when freezing your sauce, make sure you put it on like say a cookie sheet or something flat in your freezer to freeze. Otherwise, if it's on grates, it will get stuck in the grates. But thank you. This is roasted tomatoes and getting ready to make Bolognase sauce. And you can, I'll put many bags in the freezer so I can have them throughout the winter. Thank you.